The first official weekend of Pokemon VGC regionals are done, and we're so back. We're like insanely back. The Frankfurt regionals are over, and so are the Monterrey regionals in Mexico. And I am joined by none other than the cary dortona to break down the meta, take a bite out of all that we saw. So if you want to know, if you want to find a team, if you are playing at Pittsburgh, or if you just want to know what's going on so you can have a sense of the VGC landscape, we're going to be doing this not just today, but after all the big VGC weekends going forward. Cary, how are we doing today, man? How are we doing?
I'm doing very good. I'm excited to talk about this weekend. I think there was a lot of really interesting teams, overall, for both regionals, and I'm very curious to see how it will actually impact Pittsburgh going into this weekend, and then the rest of Reg H Part 2.
Oh my God, so many players, especially those who watch my channel, are going to be competing in Pittsburgh, including myself. Are you going to be going to Pittsburgh or no, Cary?
I'm not. I just started college, so it was just kind of hard to find time to really prep. And then I'm also just experimenting with just a bunch of different teams and stuff. So
Yeah.
I number one, I wouldn't feel super confident going into Pittsburgh because I just feel really busy. But I don't know. I always like to not do the first regional of a format because I just like to see what happens.
The opposite. I love first regionals. Milwaukee was the first one last time I made top 8. I love it, man. I love it. And just looking at it right now, there's so much that happened. Like Frankfurt, look at I see a spot right here, dude. I see a Sableye. What are we seeing right now? And even in Monterrey, bro, Scyther, Sylveon, Garganical, Greninja, Flamigos. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we have a lot to talk about. So, guys, if you're watching this video, let me know if this is hype. We're going to be breaking down the top teams, but also what you have to be ready for because, bro, I'm hyped to talk about this, man. There's so much to look at, so much to get a feel for. This is going to be insane.
Oh, 100%.
So what do you think?
So I think the regional winning team is very, very interesting because it actually won, a variant of it actually won the GC the week before. So it's interesting to see it come back, but I think it's really cool because it's a mix between new and old ideas because Yawn Blood Moon, Terra Electric is actually not.
It's crazy.
It's not a new thing. It's an old thing, actually. It's funny because Eduardo Cunha actually ran it to NAIC, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
There's something very similar to this where it was the Ensign, Sneasler, Rillaboom, Gholdengo, Blood Moon, but they had but Eduardo had Dragonite over Ninetales.
Oh.
So it's interesting to see. I was actually surprised to see this team win the event, but it makes sense because it's actually really, really, really strong.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
It does have a lot of moving pieces. I think what makes this team really interesting is how flexible it is because it in terms of modes, because you have your Gholdengo setup mode, you have the Yawn Blood Moon mode, and then you have the Sneasler mode.
Yeah.
And it's just so incredibly flexible and just has a ton of ways of managing issues, a ton of different problems.
Yeah.
First off, the most interesting thing is no Dire Claw on Sneasler. It is close combat acrobatics.
I've never seen that and thought it was objectively a scary idea in my mind. But there are so many little things about this team that I think, again, the Sneasler and the Ursaluna, even on Ninetales, I've not seen disable as much as Encore and other moves. And I look at it and I'm like, there's a lot happening.
Oh, 100%. It's the benefit you get of this Grassy Seed acrobatic setup is it actually punishes slower teams so hard, especially ones that don't have Incineroar to help mitigate the damage of the Sneasler because it just starts getting out of control. It also allows you to just run Adamant on Sneasler too, and you get the defense boost. And it pairs really, really well with Rillaboom. I kept running into this team on ladder, and you lead Sneasler, Rillaboom into slower teams, and it can just shred because you have fake out pressure, you have the unburden boost on the Sneasler, and then you don't have to worry about other Sneaslers because you can go for Grassy Glide acrobatics since the coaching no protect ones. It's really, really good at trading, which I think is valuable. And it's just has so many different answers. It has terrain, weather control,
fake out,
Trickermancers,
control, status.
Yes, that too. The other thing about the Blood Moon that I think a lot of people forget is that with leftovers, this thing becomes obnoxiously bulky and yawn because it forces switches and pivots and then creates mind games. because then it's also like, do I protect? Do I not protect? And it just gets like really, really gross.
I don't know a single thing that Okos is. Like maybe a life orb Terra normal blood moon, but I'm thinking right now, like what else really Okos this thing? I would say
it's just a very like it's such an interesting take on balance this format, and like I think it combines a lot of the new and the old to really like push forward, because I think what was important in this format is having ways of doing damage without having to set up per se, which this team has like a ton of ways of doing that. And I don't know, it was just really cool to see it win the regional.
I agree with you, man. I think when I look at it personally, man, I think I see like there's a slow mode, right? You have the Ursaluna Incineroar, fake out, Gholdengo in the back. Then you have, okay, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit more offensive. I have this Icy Wind, like setup style with Gholdengo. I also have this Rillaboom Slinger that if I don't go with it game 1 or game 2, and I just obliterate you, this is an adjustment, you're not going to be ready for it. It has all the tools of so many. There's two, it's one of those teams where you don't know what they're really always going to do. And it's so flexible. You can slow down and speed up so fast at the same time. So I don't know. I think it's a really strong team. I'm like, I don't know. How do you think people can prepare for this? Like if you're going to Pittsburgh and you're how do you even look at reacting to something like this?
So this one's like really hard, mainly because of the fact that like you can lead Sneasler with almost any mon on this team and it still just works, right?
Yeah.
Good example is the set between Emmanuel and Shohei, where like it was beginning of game 3 and he just leads Ursula and a Sneasler and just has like all this pressure immediately on the board with like the Sword Stance setup of the Blood Moon with the Earth Powers and Blood Moon. And was just able to like just put immediate pressure on Shohei in the early game. And so like that was just like really cool to see. But like I think the main way that's probably going to be used, I think reactionary to this, is probably going to be some ways of using like special attack spread, like which is probably easiest answer is Gholdengo, because I actually think Gholdengo is like really good into this team. But the team also has answers for Gholdengo. Like another example being Shohei when he played another player, I think it was Jordy, on stream, and he realized like if he just used Gholdengo and like position it correctly, it kind of cleaned through most of the team because the Sneasler couldn't touch the Gholdengo.
Gholdengo looks really strong to this, like really strong.
Yeah, so I think it's mostly just going to be adapting game plans rather than just like hard counters, because I don't really see a way you like hard counter except just play better. Like I think this just requires you to play better and like play around the fact that they have Yawn, set up Sneasler, stuff like that. So I think it's like really just gonna be about creating type pins and then also just like spread damage. Like I think this team's really, really weak to like spread damage, specifically Gholdengo, or like maybe a Volcarona. Volcarona also seems pretty hard next to Ebuzz, but like the thing is like Volcarona plus Ebuzz has been like on a downtrend.
It's not Electabuzz right now. The stocks are low. Like I look at the lab mouse right now, like I don't see Electabuzz anywhere, man. Like, it's kind of insane. I'm seeing Frosmoth before I see Electabuzz. Like
it's nuts.
The highest one is right here. And I'm looking at this, and something that I see, bro, is like Gholdengo is clearly here. And I'm also seeing a lack of, Swords Dance King Gambit. I feel like those are the two pieces that everyone was really scared about. I look at this one, right? I see a spot here, but this is not even Swords Dance King Gambit, right? Everyone and their mom is preparing for Swords Dance King Gambit, Nasty Plot Gholdengo, Rain, and even here, I think Rain is definitely something that we're seeing. Rain's never going to go away. Every time people think there's a counter for Rain finds its way back to the top consistently. And we saw that.
I think the thing that's important with Rain is that it just needs to like adapt as the format progresses, right? Because like if we look at Victor Medina's team, right, for finals, it's really interesting because it actually takes a lot of aspects of the Elizabeth team that he used to get to finals of LAIC. But then also combines a lot of aspects of like standard Rain that like Pio Pero ran when he made finals in like Stuttgart. So it's really interesting to see that fusion, because I think it's these minor adaptations that are really important, because Arch Pelly Basque is just so inherently strong. And then like Idson, Gus Gholdengo is also just really, really strong. Like you have 3 spore immunities, and then like you just have like damage. Like this team has damage in almost like every piece, right? Besides like Among Us. And so
I think like slow down and speed up at the same time. Like this is a really slow option, and then you have just nukes, Tailwind, Gholdengo, Bask, Arch. But you can slow things down with Instant and Moongus. Like that combination of things makes teams like this scary because it has a lot of different ways to handle things.
But I think the most important thing to take away from this, because everything else is like really standard. Like Instin's like normal, like Instin's normal, Basculegion's normal, Pelipper's normal, Amoonguss is normal on this team. Like all the Terras are just like completely standard. The important things to take away are the Gholdengo and the Archaludon.
Tell me why.
So the Archaludon is Terra Fighting and the Gholdengo is Terra Flying. Those were both on the Elizabeth team. For like originally, but like Elizabeth had the Scarf Gholdengo and Snarl on Archaludon. So it's interesting to see the Terra Fighting one here because normally it's only on that Elizabeth build, but now it's starting to creep into the Rain version. And I think it's actually really strong because number one, a lot of Archaludons were already going like bold to increase the body press damage in general because like, well, I'm already boosting my special attack with Electroshot. Might as well just boost my body presses for certain endgames. Yeah. So fighting just increases that threshold while also like it's a pretty neutral typing overall, and like you have counters for Indeedee Sneasler teams with like Ensign and Terra Psychic Gust.
Yeah.
And so it's just like a good Terra. It also just hard walls setup Gambit. Like if you can get like enough boosts on the Arch, Gambit's not breaking.
It's a demon for Gambit, yeah.
It also just destroys any physical teams. Like any teams that have too many physical attackers, it's just so hard to break through the Arch. Also, there's just not a lot that hits fighting in this format besides like Pelipper and then like the occasional fairy types and then like Indeedee. So it's like it's a pretty solid neutral typing overall that also just gives you strong offensive benefits and like basically patches up the King Gambit matchup almost instantly.
Yeah.
And then
all just has so keep going.
And then like to trail off into like the Terra Flying Gholdengo, it's Terra Fly like you don't need Terra Water because you have enough Terra Water resists on the team per se.
Yes.
You don't need a resist to what's it called? Like fire anymore because you have rain. Yep. So flying makes a lot of sense because it actually makes the Ursaluna matchup like
so much better. That mind game you have over them now is insanely powerful.
That too, and then it's like it helps with Garchomp because like you dodge Earthquake now, like when you're next to Gust. So it's just a very useful Terra, and it's interesting to see it pop up now rather than earlier. And I just think it's really good. Like, but it also just shows like this team overall just shows how strong Rain is, especially in the hands of a good pilot.
Yes.
And how it really just needs like these small adaptations here or there to like adapt to the meta, and it like still works.
Agree. We're seeing so much Rain here. Like I count 5 Pelipers in the top 12. Like
100%.
That is insane. Like, I'm looking again at this, and the feeling I'm getting is there's not a lot of hard speed control. If you know what I mean. I don't see a lot of in my personal journey on Showdown and my practice I'm doing right now. I'm seeing Whimsicots everywhere. I'm seeing the occasional I'm seeing hard trick. I'm looking at this regional, man, and I'm not seeing any of that stuff. It's a lot of balance, positioning, damage reduction. That's what I'm seeing a lot. What are you seeing?
I agree with that, but remember this is like Europe, so like that's like their standard.
They have a more balanced approach. I agree.
They're also like more balanced, more like precision based, so it makes sense to see a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I think what's like been interesting is Reg H2 and similar to Reg G Part 2, there's just been a lot more creativity in certain builds. Like a lot more niche Pokemon are definitely starting to appear.
Yeah.
Or like niche ways of using them. Like nobody was on Swords Dance Acrobatic Sneasler.
Nobody.
Like, before the GC, right? So it's interesting to see like certain things. Also just like old strategies returning, like the Yawn Blood Moon and then also Mouse-Ape.
Yes.
Like Mouse-Ape was like
how many do we see here? We see 2 in top 8, 3 in the top 9. Like again, I would say there's a big gap, honestly, in the middle of this section, but it exists. Like there is a lot that is represented here for sure.
100%. It's just like I think what's going to be like the key to this format is like some like revisiting old strategies while also adding like a new coat of paint to it. Like that's probably going to be like the main way of doing it. But it's really interesting because I think I was surprised to see a lot less people actually stick to Comfort for
Me
this
too.
first regional in comparison to Reg G, like last Reg G. So it's interesting to see like that adaptation because there's like just a lot of like really neat and cool innovations.
Like looking at
like
this,
especially fourth place. Like I think fourth place was like
this team is absolutely insane. Like
I think it's really good. I actually ran into this on Showdown Ladder.
Yeah.
And it was like it wasn't that bad because I actually think it has like a pretty awkward matchup into the King Gambit mirror, but this was before they had mirror or close combat Arcanine.
Right?
So that does change some things. But like I think this team overall is actually like really strong, mainly because of the Espathra. Because we've been dealing with like 95 base special attack in DD male, and then like Espathra rolls up with like 105 or something like that, which is like 10 extra points. And it's Life Orb, Terra Psychic.
That is like, the damage that's gonna do on top of Helping Hand and Lumina Crash is like, dude, we're seeing crazy work happening right now.
That and then speed boost, like it's increasing its speed consistently. And so,
looking real quick, Cary, it's just crazy because there is no speed control on this whole team. Like, even have Tailwind, bro.
Well, you don't really need the speed control if your Espathra is getting a speed boost every other turn and OHKOing everything with like Terra Psychic Expanding Force. So, but like it's also because like the team also has like priority and then just a ton of speed control in general, like like not direct speed control, but like speed control. I say in terms of like self boosting, like you have Unburdened Sneasler, you have like I said, the speed boosting Espathra, but then it's like just a ton of priority too.
Yeah.
I mean, a ton of priority actually. I forgot the Arcanine doesn't have a stream.
What do you think?
Like, King Gambit.
I was like, what do you think these other four pieces? Like, obviously, this is everyone's attention, right? Everyone's like, okay, I got the Espathra, but how do you look at these other pieces? Because even like the Lumina Crash, like it's hard to understand a little bit because I don't know how much damage Snarl or Draco are doing or Indeedee Psychic is doing, and so how do you look at the rest of these four? Because I tried to understand this, bro, and I cannot wrap my brain around this team.
So when I look at these other two, the other four pieces, like King Gambit is definitely a Trickermancer. But it's also just like a coverage monster because like you have like dark coverage, you have the fighting coverage, and then you have like terrifying Terra Blast, terrifying Terra Blast, which helps with the Moongus, helps with Rillaboom, right? Like because that just like removes it from the field, right? Unlike Sneasler, Dire Claw, and stuff, right? So it's like it's helpful in that way. And then like Arcanine, like it's Intimidate support. It's also another coverage monster because like you get rock, fire, fighting.
Yeah, hits everything.
So it helps with that. And then like Hydreigon is just general support, prevents things from going to sleep, right? You have it's also an Ursaluna check.
Yes. It's purely supportive for Ursaluna. And I think like I've never seen Hydreigon without Tailwind or like a really offensive mind. This really, its goal is to just sit there and do its defensive responsibility.
This just destroys Ursa P2, like Amoonguss stuff, because you can like send it on the field and then you just spam Snarl for most of the game, and then you taunt the Gus, you taunt the P2. So it's mostly there for Ursaluna P2. Like it simplifies it like greatly, gives the opponent way less that they can do.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Arcanine, coverage monster, Intimidate. And then, like, Sneasler is just good stuff. So, like, you can never go wrong with Sneasler. Like, it's fast fighting coverage. Dire Claw is broken. And then Throat Chop gives you another way of dealing with Gholdengo. I think it's really cool because on this team, they actually put double protect, like, with the Indeedee and the Espathra. So when you lead them both, you can just protect and then next turn just go on the offense.
Yeah.
Which I think is, like, really neat. Like I think this team is like, even though it seems like pretty simple on the surface, I think it has like a lot of complexities that you would have to learn while playing it, and I think it's just really cool overall.
It's the kind of team if you play it like 5 or 6 times, I think you'll be fine by the 6th time. But you only get one best of 3 in a high pressure environment. Like Davide, like him knowing how to play with this team for so long and have plans into everyone. I know, and no one saw the things are Indeedees they all were ready for. We're not this Indeedee, not with Follow Me. And all the King Gambits are all set up. So you're seeing, I literally believe all 6 of these pieces, no one truly had a plan for. And in a regional like this, it's like, that's why I took it by storm. Like I'm looking back at this right now. I truly do believe that innovation was, after coming out of Red Eye, so many of us were like, there's going to be so much comfort. The standard will always rise to the top. We're seeing so many kinds of teams that have just a little bit of difference. I'm looking at this right now, right? Like we're seeing Zoroark, bro. Like Zoroark.
Yeah, the Hodge Nielsen's, they're always so creative with the team building. I
So
love it
creative.
every single time.
And,
But
yeah,
like, I think they took something that's like just like when it comes to that team, it's just like really like I know we skipped like a couple. We'll probably go back to them anyways. But like
yeah.
I think it's so cool because I think they took like one of the best combos and then like made it even better. Like which is Mousehold Annihilate, and then they put Sinestcha and Incineroar on there.
They added
And
a
it
whole other
creates
mind game to that thing. Yeah.
but not only does it add a whole nother mind game, it makes the ape mode even more like disgustingly busted because now you have not only damage mitigation in the form of friend guard, but you also have intimidate. You have hospitality when you get low. You have life do.
Yep.
It's just like really gross. I don't know what the Zillion Zoroark's for except to just be nasty when you lead it. Like let's say you lead Mouse-Ape.
Yeah.
And oh, it's the Zoroark, and it just clicked Terra Stellar Hyper Beam, and just code one of my pieces turned on. So it's interesting to see this team like do really well. But I think it's like really cool because I think it does show like a way more ape focused team. But I also think it also shows how strong Mousehold plus Ursaluna is.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple of my friends are on that, and it's just disgusting. Like
Redirection, Mousehold plus like well, there's two things. Ursaluna plus Redirector. We've seen run through Reg H from Carson Converse team in Sacramento to Chupa's run with it in Toronto. Also knocked me out. And I'm the biggest Mousehold believer right now. And I think Mousehold is an absolute demon. And I completely agree with you, bro. Like this is like a CSR team, but with ape. Like it is truly protect and recover and take care of this ape and let it do its thing. And dude, like you have taunt, as you said, double redirection, recovery, fake out, friend guard. Like this thing is unbelievable. And then now you add like a whole other complexity of a Zoroark on a lead or like an Ursaluna. Like there's so much that you really can't be ready for. I think
it's also a ton of 50-50s because it's like, do I swap to my Ensign? Do I stand with my Mousehold? Do I swap in Sinestcha? Do I not swap in Sinestcha? Do I follow me? Do I preserve a piece? Like it creates a lot of mind games, which I know the Host brothers like.
love that shit.
So it's just cool to see like such a fresh new take on the standard Mouse-Ape stuff that like Shohei was running.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm like, keep going. What else? When you see this field, right? Like, imagine
Sableye.
Yeah, like
Sableye.
I have a lot to say about Sableye personally. I am a massive Grimmsnarl player, and me personally, I have thought about Sableye a lot because of the lack. You don't have to Terra to get out of fake out. I think it's really cool, but I did not expect to see no attack, taunt, disable.
I have played this team on ladder at least twice, and it was either Terran or Escalon.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
And this team was really cool. It's actually like really strong in like such a weird way, right?
Yeah.
Because the Sableye does something that like Grimmsnarl can't do, and that's like its toolkit, and then also its typing, right?
Yeah.
And like surprisingly, Sableye behind screens is very annoying to remove with its even though it has really bad defenses. But it is such a unique partner for Annihilate, and it's actually so strong because of that.
Yeah.
Because not only do you get the double screens and like the taunt for like Among Us, right, and like just other random things, you also get Disable, and Disable is actually so good.
Yeah.
It's so random, but it's actually like because one common way to beat ape with like let's say King Gambit for example is coaching, right? You're just coaching your Gambit up to the point that like the ape just can't do anything to it. Well, if it's a defensive Terra Gambit with like let's say fire, right?
Yep.
And you just disable Kowtow Cleave, and then like it can't touch anything.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Right, or like you taunt to stop coaching, or Swords Dance, right? Like something along those lines.
Sableye is a demon. Sableye truly is a demon.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
and it can just get out of hand really quickly. It also the Mousehold being population bomb plus friend guard, I think is really really strong because not only do you get that support for the Annihilate, but now like your Mousehold is actually a threatening piece because honestly, Mousehold does not need Technician to do damage. It just
in my opinion, though, as a Mousehold user, like a diehard friend guard Mousehold user in this format, I don't think it's as strong as like Super Fang. I'm gonna be honest. Like
that's fair. But I think
he lose another move. And how much damage is Maushold Population Bomb without those pieces doing? It's like
still a lot though, because it's like 100 base power normal move when all connect with additional rolls.
Yeah.
Like there's that
more. There's like Archalodons, like, and you're losing an item. Like you don't get an item either. So it's like
that's fair, but like this team has no way of like setting up your own ape outside of side scale shotting it. So it's like and like you can't even side grassy glide because it's Terra Water.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it makes sense for this team because it just puts things in range for the ape when it gets like +1, right? It also like I think gives Maushold like it makes it a lot scarier because it's like Super Fang and it can both miss, yeah, but it's like
lack of like it makes me disrespect the ape mode a little bit more. I'm just gonna say it. Like I don't see beat up on there. Like I don't like to me the Maushold becomes a lot less threatening, like a lot less threatening. But again,
that's fair until it's next to a Dragonite or an Ursaluna or a Rillaboom.
Yeah,
like that's the other thing because now it's changing the way that the offense works on this
Agreed.
team, right? Where like Ape is a mode where Ape is like very punishing into like certain teams, and it works really well with the Sableye, right?
Yeah.
But like you can lead like Maushold Bear, right? You have double Ghost on lead.
Yeah, that's even. That thing's
yeah. Like you create like like you have double Ghost with the Terra on lead, and then like you have damage, right? So you have 80 Bear, hard to remove
with Friend Guard,
and now you have Blood Moon online, Hyper Voice online, Population Bomb, Taunt. Just a lot of utility. Same thing with Rillaboom. I don't think you would ever really lead Maushold plus Rillaboom, but you never know. But like
you really
Miracle Seed, Woodhammer, Population Bomb, Scale Shot plus Population Bomb. Like so, like that's where like having that Population Bomb actually comes in a lot because
I really wonder what is EV. I really wonder the EVs on this thing, right? Because
but like that's where like I think Population Bomb over Super Fang actually comes out because it does more than the Super Fang if all 10 connect technically. Like it should be.
It's hard. I just personally like super fanging into so many things. Like just knowing you 50% on like arches, on so many like King Gambits. Like I personally am like. Sorry, I'm coughing. But I will hate on this Maushold set until I know why it's there because you think the damage does a lot. Unless it's like adamant attack, I'm not scared of that thing. Like even the Ursaluna AV, personally, I don't think Ursaluna AV is that strong. It's not as scary to me to deal with compared to the Life Orb set or even the Yawn set. Like a lot of this team's damage is really like outside of Rillaboom, in my opinion. I don't see where a lot of the overwhelming damage comes into like. I don't see Oko. I don't see Okos anywhere, and I see a lot of like slow play, redirection. Like it's like a very balancy, progressive kind of team. I don't know. It's interesting to me, and I'm curious. Like, yeah.
The thing with AV Ursa though is that like it's just supposed to add up. Like it's chip over time. Like because I've played with it a bit, and it's like it's just slowly building, and then like it can rip one and just like takes the out. I think something that people need to do is put more special attack on their bear and take more out of the special defense. Like that's where it's like key, I think.
Well, man, like I'm telling you, bro, like I'm looking at this top 20. I see one AV Ursaluna in the top 20 Blood Moon. I see one. Like that kind of surprises me, bro.
Oh no, there's two.
Two. Show.
Shohei. Shohei is the AV bear.
But like, is that as many as you thought? Like, I don't know. Like,
I thought that is true. I thought there was going to be more, and in my practice with it, like as of recent, like it does feel good, but like there is like sometimes where it feels like a little sketch. I think both bears are just busted, no matter how we run them.
Yeah. So like looking at this, right? Like I think there's so many teams that we can go into. Before we keep going, I'm curious, like. What other teams? I think we'll do one more team that really catches your eye. I think there's a lot that we can see that are a little bit funky. Because I do want to go into like if you're looking at this, like how are you evaluating how to adjust for this for your locals coming up, for Pittsburgh coming up? Because I look at this personally, and I have a couple of takeaways. I think Gholdengo right now is a monster.
I think it's like one of the best Pokemon in the format. Like I think it's probably cemented itself as the best steel type currently, right? Because I think if I were to tier the steel types right now, it's probably Gholdengo, Arch, King Gambit. Sadly, even though King Gambit's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's Gambit. So for me, I have Gholdengo and Arch on my team. Don't tell me.
Yeah, but like Gholdengo is just so flexible and it just does so much, right? Like it's the spore immunity, it's a setup sweeper, it just does damage with Make It Rain, so you don't even have to set it up. Shadow Ball.
Yep.
It's also just combos with so many things, like really well.
Bro, like look how many there are. Like I see one in the top 5. There's 4 of them. Top 10, 6, 7, 8, and they're all nasty plot. Like they're almost all of them are nasty plot. And I think if you're going to Pittsburgh, you have to, one, be prepared for it or have it yourself. Because this thing's going to run all over you. Like,
I mean, it finally beat out Sneasler. Like, normally Sneasler was like 50% of the usage. Now Gholdengo is like, what, 45%? And then Incin, Rilla. Yep. Yeah, like, this is day 2. 45% of the playing field was Gholdengo. Then all tied for second was Incin, Rilla, and Sneasler at 42.5% or something like that. It was nuts.
I don't know where I don't think I can find that right now, but I'm looking. Okay, right here. Look at this. This is it.
Yeah, they were all like tied.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, that looks right. They were all like around there. And I think that's like general usage, not like specifically day 2, I think. But like day 2, they were all tied in the usage. And like Gholdengo was above by like 3%.
Where does day 2 stop? Let's see. It goes top 107. So we can literally go and check. Guys, the cool thing about this website, let me know if you want in the comments, is that we can literally check the top teams and the data, right? So now we're the top 107 teams. Yeah, look at that.
Yep, they all hit the 42.5, like, or 42.6 technically, yeah.
Even like I'm looking at here, like win rate, right? Like with multiple usages, what stands out to me is I look for 5 or more, right? Arcanine is something you have to look out for, in my opinion, because it's faster than Gholdengo, pretty good into Gambit if you have the Mirror Herb or something like that. I see other weird things too. I see Ninetales. Ninetales is pretty high. Indeed, there's some interesting pieces that I see that are pretty high up on this. Also, 3 Espada is crazy, bro.
Yeah, I think that was like that whole building group. I think there was 4 that worked on it, and then 1 missed day 2, I think.
Even like pairings, right? Like, guys, when you're preparing, looking at these pairings are like really important. I look at like there's 2, 3, 4. Like something I'm noticing here is like this Gholdengo balance team that Shohei kind of like originated using a lot of, and then now that we saw, others like we using it with Sableye, is that this core right here is a really common one, and you gotta be ready for rain. Like if you're going to Pittsburgh, you're playing rain at least once. I'm sorry, you're doing it, and you're playing this at least once too.
The name of the core is Doug.
Doug, the Doug.
Yeah, Doug, Dragonite, Ursaluna, Gholdengo. Yeah, so much fun. I know you wanted to talk about the Frosmoth, or if you wanted to talk about the Frosmoth.
Yeah, we'll do that one last, and then we'll keep going. So I see Alex Moreno, correct?
Yeah, that one.
Oh my God, Quiver Dance Frosmoth is crazy, bro.
I missed the stream game for this one. I need to go back and watch it. But like, I think this team is really interesting. Because first off, it's Ursulin with no Trick Room. It's just Tailwind.
Yeah. Right? So, sweep physical bear.
Yeah. So like, it's kind of cool to see that. And then it's just the balanced goons plus Ninetales, right? Which I think it won this weekend. So I think it's showing its strength there. I think Alolan Ninetales in general is just so strong right now. Like, because I've played with it a lot as of recent. And the way that you can just click like Blizzard and like delete D-Knights, it's really good into like Amoonguss, Ursaluna. It's just solid spread damage. Like
if they don't have Gholdengo, like,
yeah, even better. It's also just a good utility mod in general. Like you can run so much on this. Like this one right here is running Aurora Veil, Encore Disable. You can run Icy Wind,
Moonblast.
Yeah, Moonblast, the Dazzling Gleam for like the next one.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot that you can run. The variety of sets too, like Covert Cloak, Light Clay, Life Orb, Choice Specs, Never Melt Ice. It's just very, very flexible. And then I do think it's interesting to run Frosmoth on this team because it does get a benefit from the snow on top of Aurora Veil. Then you have Intimidate support, Grassy Terrain, and Leftovers. Yep. And then Ice Scales is just an objectively busted ability, reducing all special attack by 50%.
A lot of people don't know what that does. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it reduces special attack damage by 50% on top of the quiver dance stuff. So it's like it just becomes a monster to remove from the special side. And the biggest issue is its physical defenses, because its physical defenses are actually like abysmal, like even worse than Volcarona.
You have
like,
Snow, you have Incineroar, and you have Veil, and you have Parting Shot. Like,
and
dude,
Rillaboom, yeah. I'm very curious to like see this team in action.
yeah, it
But
seems
like, I
really
think it's very
I'm
cool.
gonna be honest, but yeah.
You also get Blizzard spam, right? And that's the other thing, that Frostmoth actually has a special attack stat in comparison to Ninetales, because Ninetales is like 81.
Yeah.
Like I think Frostmoth is like 120, 125, something like that. Like it's actually like pretty decent. And then like you combine the quiver dance boosts on top of that, and it's 100% accurate spread damage
Which
in the snow.
that can
Like,
freeze. That can freeze.
that too. So like I can see why like this did well.
And just the Water Blast, I love that. I'm gonna be honest. For rain,
Yeah.
for fire types like Incineroar, dude, like that's kind of cracked.
It's also just better coverage than Ice Bug.
Yeah.
To be honest, like at least Ice Water, you're hitting most of the format outside of like a couple things.
Yep.
So like that's the benefit there. It's also Gholdengo resist and stuff, so it's like really nice there. I'm just curious how this team deals with the Rillaboom. Like I know it has like the blizzards, right, to like stop it, but like I don't know. Like Woodhammer looks kind of juicy into that Volcarona if they have like a fire type or something on their team.
Now what?
Like I mean, I said Volcarona. I said Frosmoth. I said Frosmoth.
Yeah.
But it's looking like it's looking kind of juicy to that Frosmoth, just bonk. But it also depends on the team. So like I can see where it works like really, really well though. And like becomes hard to remove.
I agree. And I think a big part of this is like there's really just two modes to this team. It's Frosmoth or it's the bear. And
yeah.
And if you can prepare for that, it's really strong. But what I will say is like they have a really good like synergy with the whole like ground and ice. And like if you prepare for one, the other one can just come in there and get your ass. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
They pair up very well. And what I'm noticing right now is a lot of Rillaboom and Incineroar, like not overwhelmingly amounts, but if we're looking at a lot of these teams, like there's always an Incineroar, a Moongus, or there's a Rillaboom, Incineroar, a Moongus on like every team. And I think it tells you a lot of like a lot of these flary teams have a very safe component to a lot of them that it's easy to get lost in, oh my God, the acrobatics or, the rain mode or, even like that, the Zoroark. But there's a lot of stability in there too that I think is important for like many of you to watch. You can be creative, but you can't go that off the walls if you're going to go.
There was actually one more team I did want to talk about that I actually think is like really good and also shows like adaptations from Reg H Part 1 to Part 2, and it's 10th place actually.
10th place. Okay, this is an interesting one.
This one I think is very. So the reason why I think this one's really interesting is it actually takes a lot of lessons from the Wolfie team. Well, at least like one major lesson, and that's Power Herb Chaladon on Rain. With Terra Electric, right? I think it's really interesting, and I think it's like actually something that I'm surprised hasn't picked up a bit more because I've actually been talking with Patrick about this.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that like Arch with Terra Electric does like stupid amounts of damage. You get the speed and then the damage, and then like you get good coverage in general too. And then it just works. It works inside, outside of rain. You get that instant burst damage.
Yep.
So I think it's really cool to see that do well.
Yeah.
Because I do think it's good, but it also, because I was also talking with Patrick about rain in general, and he felt like
I think rain is amazing, bro.
But he felt like rain players weren't innovating enough, and I do agree in some cases.
Yeah.
Or like I think this is like a step in the right direction in terms of like if you want to change the fundamental ideas of range.
Scarf Pelipper, bro. Like
that's interesting. I think that's really cool, but it's also neat because Scarf Pelipper did well here and in Monterrey.
Yes,
but two completely different sets. Like the one in Monterrey was a Soak Pelipper.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that. But then what I also like about this team is that you get like the double fake out core to help the Arch as well. But then and the Gholdengo. But this Gholdengo is really cool because it's Terra fighting for Gambit, which I think is neat.
I think people are getting off of water, bro. People are getting off this Terra water, man. Like
I don't think you need it on rain. Like this, like I feel like when you have like Terra water on rain is pretty much only for Basque, to be completely honest. And then like in certain matchups when you don't bring the rain mode, right? But like I feel like you're bringing rain most of the time, right? Like 90% of the time.
I'm telling you, that Pelipper's coming, bro. Almost every time.
Right. So
on your team.
So I definitely think a trend to take away from this is like experimenting more with like the terras on rain in general. But I also think in terms of like the items too in certain things.
Yeah.
Like I think this is just a really cool way of like showing a new way to build rain. And I think it's a more offensive arch and then like changing up the support pieces or the ideas of the support pieces.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think like whenever you make these little tweaks, especially for a lot of you watching this at home, whenever you make just enough changes to a popular archetype or a popular team, the good part about it is that your opponents are not as prepared for it. Like someone could have practiced against rain for hours and hours and hours. Then you play against a team like this, and you're ready for Sash Pelipper, Assault Vest Arch, and it goes, well, this changes everything. And I think that's what a lot of the players here did. Like, I think almost every, even like Owie, right? Almost every single team had something weirdly unique about it, which I think is the name of the game. And again, like for a lot of you watching, I want you guys to know that preparing for regionals like this is something that takes time. You can't just go play for a week and go up and show up and do well. That's why I made this badge challenge, guys. It's completely free. Comment the word badge in the chat, right, Cary? The badge challenge is legit. The badge challenge is legit. Guys, I have a calendar in here for you to track your progress. You guys can literally grow, of course, 30 days across building, battling, mentality. The reason why I do this is because someone in this group, I have to talk about him. His name is Sam. And Sam right here, there's two Sams. But this guy, Sam, he wrote 8 and 4 right here. Samuel Adzib. He did this badge challenge, guys. And again, look at his running team. Fighting on Chaladon, Insane, Among Us. He used this badge challenge in his prep. And look at his first ever regional, went 8 and 4. Like, what I'm trying to say is, imagine your first regional preparing. This is the payoff, guys. So, like, again, we're looking at his team carry, and I see slight little things, right? I see fighting here. I see Snarl. I see Sludge Bomb and Puff on Amoongus. Like, there's a lot of little tweaks here that, again, using something like this to grow and practice can really make the difference and make your first ever day 2 in your first regional. I can't even imagine.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, little things. Like, it's actually funny because like I did a similar thing for my first day 2. I got it at that was my second regional. I got my first day 2. And I remember I took Joe Ugarte's Reg G team that he was like first regional Reg G, and I took the one that he was using with Shadow Rider, and he was on like lefties bolt, but I made like one small change
Was that Wo Chen team or was it a different team?
No, Joe Ugarte's team was it was the Nasty Plot Sash CSR. It was like early, it was like beginning of Reg G, first regional Indianapolis. And I remember I made one small change, which was to take lefties off of the Raging Bolt and make it booster energy. And it like helped so many matchups and made it feel like really, really good. So it's like, I think it's just important to know when to like change things and then like make tweaks. But I think like right now, at least the way that the metagame's changing, it's like keeping core fundamental ideas of a team while making either like a small Mon swap out, like as you can see here, it's Dragonite over Gholdengo, or it's like changing items and terras and stuff like that.
Completely agree. And like my advice to you guys is like try new things, but have proof of concept, right? Like again, I'm looking at so many. Again, this team is also absolutely nuts. But I want to talk about Monterrey because I don't think preparing for this is going to help you at Pittsburgh, in my opinion. Maybe like one of these. But do you want to talk about
this guy on stream? Oh,
what did you say?
I felt so bad for this guy on stream. He got hit by 4 Fishers from Don Dozo.
Not 2, not 3, 4 Fishers in a row.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's pain. That's pain. That's pain. So yeah, I don't know. My last takeaways from this regional is that I think hyper offense could be in a really interesting position because a lot of these teams I think could fold to hyper offense if played correctly. I also think that maybe I'm just completely wrong and that the balance approach is just overwhelming for this speed right now. There's too many mind games, too many tools right now. And the last thing I'm noticing is that, to me personally, Gholdengo. That's my number one takeaway. And like the lack of King Gambit as well. Like I'm looking through here, the lack of Swords Dance King Gambit is one in the top 20, I think. Makes you cry. Yeah, dude. It's real though. It's like a lot of you right now. I mean, if you are bringing your King Gambit to Pittsburgh, I hope you're prepared because there's going to be a lot of hate for it. A lot of hate. And going now into Monterrey, I'm looking at this look too, and Do you see any King Gambits in the top 8?
Well, made final.
We got one. We got one here.
It's actually the like almost my Toronto team, except I had Terra Ghost E-Buzz with Helping Hand because it made the rain matchup easier.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So what? I mean, we have to talk about first place. Stefan brought Sylveon, brought Scyther, and brought Garganacl. And Carrie, I know you have a lot to say about this insane team. Moringa Berry, Choice Scarf, What the Wish, Yawn. What are we seeing right now?
So it's kind of cool to see because this is like an adaptation of what Stefan has used previously in this format, which is the Ninetales, Garganacl, Gholdengo, Incin stuff. But like I think he had Dondozo, Sneasler as the last two before. But it was cool. It's cool to see this win because it's such an interesting composition that actually has.
This is when I see people succeed with this, I'm like VJ Suit is smiling somewhere, man. Like
no, VG Suit went to this regional with Scyther Sylveon.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's cool to see a win. But like I think what's really like the key piece of this team is the Garganacl overall. Because Garganacl is actually like really good and it has like a really unique niche to it, which is the fact that number one, it's immune to all statuses because of its ability. You also resist ghost type damage. Like because of your ability too, because Purifying Salt's just stupid and needed like 4 separate effects.
Insane move, insane ability.
So it's just like really good because number one, it pressures like all the steel types in the format. So that's Arch, Gambit, Gholdengo.
Arguably the strongest Pokemon in the entire format. This thing bodies.
Yeah, you get it also pressures water types like Prim, Basque. You get this thing behind screens. It's not dying, it is recover. You also have Stealth Rocks. Which is also nasty, so it punishes like defensive plays, defensive pivoting switches. Yep, that too. And then like Ninetales for like Blizzard freezes and stuff, Incineroar for Intimidate. It's just like obnoxious like to deal with.
Yeah.
And then Gholdengo is just good for fast damage, and then Trick is also like devious. Like it could be used to like just punish the opponent for making a passive play. Like I like Call Your Protect, hard switch in Gholdengo. And now you have to swap or get tricked.
Yeah, tricking. There's a lot of Pokemon that don't want to be tricked. Like a lot. Like Archaladon. There are so many.
So I was talking with Stefan about.
Oh wow! Nice.
And I remember he hits me up a couple days before Monterrey, and he was asking to run sets into me on my like Toronto team and just King Gambit in general.
You know.
Well, yeah, because like I knew the team in and out. We also talked about stuff
for sure,
like worlds and whatnot, right? So he was like, "Yeah, can I run this into you?" And I remember I was like, "All right, let's run some sets, right?" And then like we pull up Showdown, we start like we're about to play. I see this on my screen, and I'm like, "What fresh hell is this?"
Yeah, this is
yeah. I was like, "What is this?" And he's like, "I promise it works, and it's broken." And I'm like, "Okay." And so we played out, and it was actually like pretty strong overall because like I played like MDB's team into a Narret's team, and then like on my Toronto team. The Toronto team was like almost an auto loss if it's Covert Cloak Volk, because the main way to break through Volk is Garganacl, and then if you can't use the Salt Cure to break through the Volk, then the Volk just sweeps through the rest of the team because it's hitting Scyther super effectively, it's hitting Ninetales super effectively, it's hitting Gholdengo super effectively. It's actually one of the reasons why you went Terra Fire Incineroar, because we were playing the set and I'm like, I think you just gotta like position Incineroar in like a certain way. And he's like, what if we try a like Terra Fire Incin? And I'm like, do you need like Terra for any other matchups like Randy's like, no. And I'm like, I guess that could work. And it worked decent, but like he couldn't break through the Volk. And I'm like, you might have to just dodge it. And he ends up playing it in finals. So that was funny to see.
Like so how do you do this? So I'm looking at these two teams right now. Tell me about this right here. Tell me about it.
Oh, I did want to mention why he had Sylveon though. The reason why he had Sylveon was purely for the Gambit matchup. He said that he said the team was broken to everything else except Sylveon. I mean, that's a Gambit.
Yeah.
So like that was like the only other funky thing. But I don't want to like say like too much else about it. But it was like a cool team to like see the development of. I mean not the development of because I didn't build it. But it was cool to see me helping with the prep and then like him winning. So
yeah. Oh, well, we have to talk about Scyther too, because I personally, the only thing in my mind this thing helps with kind of is like Sneasler maybe, and maybe Annihilate if it burns Terra, but I don't know. What do you think about Scyther? Help me
I
understand.
think it's really good. I think a lot of people forget the fact that because I actually asked why Scyther,
Yeah.
and a lot of people forget that this thing is the same base stats as Caesar. It's evolved form, so it's like 500 base stat, like over 500 base stat total, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a Pokemon, and then you put Eviolite on it, and then it does damage. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good Pokemon. Like, and then like you have the unique coverage of like dual wing beat, close combat U-turn, and it's all you also got to remember stab U-turn.
Yep.
Like that's like chunking Rillas and stuff. Also, bug flying. Oh yeah, and technician too on dual wing beat with stab
And U-turn.
and U-turn. So it's like it's a good mon. Like, it's not bad. I don't know all the use cases of it. You'd have to ask Stefan, but like I just think this team's really cool. And it's like an interesting, like it was like a good call for this tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I do want to clarify, I did not build this team. I just
Not Terry's team. He hung out with them. So
no. It's just I don't want to like take credit for anything other than just helping with matchup prep. That's all.
yeah,
Like,
guys.
I don't like taking credit from people. Like, that's
Yeah,
just
of course. So guys, if you're watching, Cary made this team. He built every single thing.
No. Don't say that. No.
Okay.
Just matchup prep. That's all.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, well, this team you're very familiar with, guys. The second place team that Alejandro Canseco used is a team that Cary's very familiar with. A team that I beat in my run when I was going. What's it called? When I went in Toronto, I went top 8. I actually beat this team on the way there because they always brought this into me. But you are very familiar with this team. Tell me.
I love it. Well, I love this team mainly because it was kind of like a very nice adaptation from my Louisville team with like the Specs Dragapult and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it had 4 out of the same 6 pieces, and so I was just like, oh, I just swapped the fighting type and the dragon type. Sick.
Yeah.
So I love this team. I think it's very flexible, has like almost answers into everything except like T-Tar and Sand.
Yeah.
Specifically, safety goggles, Final Gambit, Annihilate, and T-Tar. That's like the worst matchup ever.
Oh, that's the Choppa team. The Choppa team.
Yeah, I remember because I worked on I remember team building with Tim Edwards when we were like building a variant of this, and like he ran into Carson Confer on it, and he's like, it's almost an auto loss, like basically, because like they just lead Ape T-Tar and nothing you can do. They click Final Gambit Rock Slide, then Indeedee or Sneasler comes out.
Yeah,
it's just like whatever.
Yeah. But this team, I mean, I love the Volcro. Like, it's clearly a setup team, and you have Swords Dance, Quiver Dance. You also have coaching, but to support that, you have Fake Out and Redirection.
I love coaching. Coaching is so good.
What?
It's just so good. Like, it's just number one. Like, I love having Fake Out and coaching. It's just nice to have.
Why both?
Because Fake Out, because you can Fake Out Swords Dance. You have fast Fake Out. And then coaching to punish slower leads that can't stop you. You can coaching your D Knight, so you get boosted scale shots. Your King Gambit, so you get boosted kowtows and sucker punches and defense boosts, right? Your Volcarona, so that way it's less damage.
Regulation I team, I had Scarf and I lead with Volcarona too, and I was coaching. I was getting an Omni boost every turn sometimes, bro.
Yeah, then like you coach your Rillaboom too. Like it's just like in certain endgame scenarios, it was just like very nice and flexible. I love like. It has answers for almost everything, which is the main reason why I like it so much. I feel like it's a little outdated now, but like I feel like the core concepts are strong. Like, so I'm hoping to maybe see an evolution of it that I can run, because I would love to just stick with setup Gambit, but it's been kind of funky. Because I feel like Annihilate makes it really hard, specifically like support
Gambit go through hell right now, man.
It is specifically support Ape is the hardest because you have Final Gambit, Taunt, coaching. Because like they don't even have to attack you; they can just assign coach.
William Brown not only had a safety goggles Ape, but I see a freaking loaded dice Greninja here, bro.
Yeah. My friend Oliver Ackerman or Geodas, he actually ran Greninja before to a regional, and it cooks with Arch. I can't lie. Like just the priority water shuriken, fast taunt, which this one isn't running
What
taunt.
does water shuriken even do, bro? I have no idea.
Priority multi-hit water move. So you can like hit it into your arch before anything else. So
Yeah.
that's kind of nice. It gets the rain boost, right? So you get that too. You get dark pulse. It's in like that weird speed tier where it works when it wants to work, right? And then like it also just gets a bunch of weird utility moves. Like you get taunt, haze, rain dance in this case, because this one's running rain dance. So it's nice in that case. It's also you also get it for Annihilate. You get side water shuriken for your Annihilate.
Water.
Yeah, so like that's just nasty. You get taunt, close combat, final gambit, rage fist. Like you get, and then like you have Wide Guard on this Pelipper with the weather ball. I think it's just it's a cool team to see. I'm not sure if this is going to become like meta, but like it's also just good stuff's rain with like a tweak again. Like it's like
saying it. Every rain team has to get more creative. This is an example of that.
Yeah. Like this one's like running the standard like Sinestro stuff with Ape, but like it takes away like the mouse hold, puts the Greninja, the Pelipper. Yeah, you have that one. So it's an interesting take on rain. I don't think it's going to become meta, but it's something that like people could see going forward.
Yeah, definitely. And what I'm noticing about Monterrey especially is a lot of Ape. I mean, I'm looking in the top 8. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, at the very top, I mean, Gholdengo just won. Gholdengo is just the winner, man. Like Gholdengo is the only and Gholdengo and Incineroar are the only 2 Pokemon, but they're on both teams. This thing's a demon, man. But what else are you noting? What about this is jumping out to you? In my mind, there's a lot of off the wall stuff here. Definitely more offensive, as you were saying. T-Tar.
Yeah, I think so first it's always important to note like smaller regionals usually have more diverse,
of course,
in general, mainly because like stuff can sneak through easier, right? Because it's a smaller filter.
Yep.
So like we usually see a lot more creativity in terms of like the results of like cut and stuff. So it's always important to take things with like a grain of salt.
Yeah.
When it comes to smaller regionals, but you can still get a lot of data from them, especially creative ideas in terms of stuff.
Yep.
Like I think important takeaways like from both regionals this weekend is that Annihilate and Gholdengo are just like everywhere, and they're just really, really strong in general. I also think like creative ways of running Gholdengo.
I think Arch is kind of having a tough time a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. If you like, but like it also placed well in Frankfurt, which is interesting. Like they're like Fabian Braum went like 10-0 before losing 1 right before Swiss, and then he lost in top 8 with Arch in Monterrey. So it's like I think it's still like a really, really good mod. It's just very, very play heavy.
Yeah.
It's also like Rain is just very, very I think more than like some other archetypes is very, very skill based.
Yeah.
Like way more than others, and it's just because you have so many tools, like a lot of tools.
Yeah.
And it just works.
I agree with you. I'm looking at this too, and like something I'm seeing is like a lot of these teams, like there's a redirector and pure support Pokemon on almost every team. Like teams like this, I played against something like this in the Global Challenge. I believe Michael Kelch is Mitchie on the game, right? Or who's Mitchie?
Yeah, it's either Mitchie or Derbesti.
Yeah, so I played Mitchie, who was 18-12. And they were playing this team. Again, I guess he didn't use it at the regional. But I've seen this team.
Surprising. He said he wasn't going to reveal it because of like his friends were going to use it at the regional, I thought. But
yeah, I played against Mitchie. He was ranked 18-12. I actually kicked his ass too. Fun fact. But I love Michael. Michael's the boy. But he was using this team. I don't know if it was T-Tar in the last, but I think it was. But it was this team, and it was honestly like really interesting. It looks so hard to outpace your opponent, though. Again, it looks like an ape it all kind of thing, and it's like, but against me, he led like this Ursaluna, like Klefki stuff, and I don't know. It felt very passive. I felt very in control, and I look at a team like this, and I'm like, how does someone not overwhelm this? That's what I think.
I think it's dependent because it did place well in Frankfurt. It's just Ape. Like I think Ape is a very skill-based mod, but it's also a very skill-checky mod, I feel. Because it's like if you don't know lines in Annihilate or you don't feel comfortable into making hard calls into Annihilate, it will outpace you and overrun you.
Over under.
So it's like that's kind of the gist of it. I think it's interesting because this is actually a pretty standard team outside of the T-Tar. Because normally that's supposed to be like an Alolan Ninetales.
Yes.
It's kind of interesting to see T-Tar over the Alolan Ninetales. But it makes some sense because the Alolan Ninetales on like this standard team is usually offensive.
Yeah.
Instead of like screen support because you already have the clef key.
Or something.
Right. Well, no, normally it's like Sash.
Okay.
So it's interesting seeing T-Tar there, but it also provides a different angle, especially when like a majority of your mons don't get chipped by the sand. So
very tough for this 4.
Yeah, but like I feel like Tails often does better into rain than
Agreed.
T-Tar, mainly because like Blizzard and Moonblast are like neutral, while T-Tar is like it's also slower, while Tails is faster. You also get spread damage that isn't resisted by Arch.
Yeah.
So like that's nice there, but it's interesting. It's a very interesting take on the standard core. The team I do want to talk about is Dion, Marcus Dion's team.
He started off like 9 or 10-0, right?
Yeah, he started off like 10-0 or something, 8-0, I think. Maybe 10-0. No. This is actually what the Tangs ran for the GC.
Okay.
Or at least a variant of it. I think they had Rillaboom over the Incineroar in the final version, but I think Dion went back to Incineroar. Because I've actually played this team a couple times on ladder, and it is a beast. It is disgusting. Because you can honestly you can lead Mousehold Gholdengo into almost anything and kill like everything.
Trust me, I know. I'm a big Mousehold Gholdengo guy.
It's gross because you can click Super Fang into Terra Steel, Make It Rain, kill like something. You have Feint to break through protects. You have Friend Guard so your Gholdengo doesn't die. And then you have Sash Basculegion in the back, which Sash Basculegion is actually like really good. Okay. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this pick up as we go on later into Reg H Part 2.
Yeah.
Because it's actually a win con. Because it's like, okay, I get Basculegion out. If I am faster than you and I have my Sash,
and I
can't kill me. Yeah, you also have Aqua Jet. You also have Adaptability, Terra Ghost, Last Respects.
Yeah, and Tailwind too.
Tailwind too, which is like disgusting. And then like to add like the cherry on top, you have Final Gambit Ape. And you also have like this AV Incineroar, which also intimidates support, bulk, everything. So it's kind of nice on that front. So it's good. It's good. I think that I'm curious if we'll see like a variant of this team going into the future. I wouldn't be surprised to see this at Pittsburgh and do well. Because it's a very like offensive team that can like do a lot of breaking through. So it's just a very like interesting team. I do think it's like a little King Gambit week, but then they like added the Ape, so I can't really say that 100% anymore because I actually played them a good chunk of times on ladder, and I felt like King Gambit was able to just kind of break through the Gholdengo Mousehold stuff, especially if you had Sneasler with your Gambit. But it's a really cool team. It's very offensive, very scary, and forces a lot of calls, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I think like only the Gholdengo and the Basculegion looked overwhelming, but I'm sure if this team gets any momentum or takes a KO first, you're going to see a whole heap of trouble.
Like 100%. Like it just gets out of hand way too fast.
And I think like overall, like again, looking at this is like Basculegion is one of those Pokemon you just have to respect. In my opinion, I don't think it's the strongest by any means, but it's the scariest. Like
100%.
One of the very few Pokemon you have to genuinely dance around, like game plan around that Pokemon.
Yeah, especially because it can just like wait in the back and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at this again. Like again, we have to talk about the T-Tar rise here. Like going to Pittsburgh. Like how are you analyzing? This is the region.
I think sand is going to be everywhere in Pittsburgh. I'm calling it right now. Mainly because
sand is that good for the green? What can people like? I'm not saying people should change their teams for a meta call, but what do you think is a call that could feel pretty good into this field and maybe a little bit of the field in Frankfurt?
It's hard because it's just it's similar but different for both, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be a lot of sand for Pittsburgh, mainly because of the fact that it was like everywhere at the beginning of Reg H Part 2 on ladder, and then it just disappeared. But because I'm not sure if sands match up into Annihilate and stuff. Like I don't know if that's like a direct cause of it.
Yeah.
like specifically annihilate Mousehold, like the Shohei build. But it's interesting to see sand popping up a lot more here.
Yeah.
So I think if it's like if you want to counter, like, or not counter, but like at least prep well into these two teams, it's like just make sure you have like good game plans into like Sand and Annihilate.
Yeah.
And like just balance in general. Like I most of this is just going to require you to have solid game plans.
I agree. There's gonna be
like,
we see two here in the top 12. We see sand, we see rain. I don't think there's as much. Again, if we're looking at this right now, like there's one blood moon, two. Like there's a couple here toward the bottom of this, but I mean, when I look at this, I mean, I see a lot of weather, and I see a lot of like again, even like Sinistra. It's only in the couple there, but I don't know. Even like looking at duos, right? Like again, this Doug group is the group, man. Like
it is. It's just a good type synergy, good like damage. Like every piece does damage. Every piece can support the other. Good bulk. Like you just can't go wrong with it. It's really strong.
So I guess I mean, looking at any other teams here, does anything?
Brandon Davis, I would do that one.
Flamigo Salamence. My first
day is double dual wing beat.
Oh my god, they hate Sneasler, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. This team is something. All I know is Brandon Davis. I know likes to run side spam a lot.
He's known for a side spam kind of team. I know he's done it. He's got really far before with something like this.
Right. It's a really cool team. Do I expect like you to run into this? No.
Hell no.
It's just so cool. I love it. It's just such a fun take on side spam. I also think Armor Rouge is actually kind of slept on right now. I think it's actually like a really good mon. A set that I've been liking, or at least been seeing on ladder that I think is strong, is the Meteor Beam stuff. Mainly because you just take a KO and then you have +1 expanding forces that you're just able to start launching out. So it's cool to see, like, and it's such an interesting take on, like, it's because it's Tailworm.
Yeah, but like the hardest hyper offense version of it.
Right, and then like you also have like it's also interesting to see no Tailwind Flamigo. Like I know like the early ones have like wide guard and stuff. But, like, just have Flamigo on this team as like an offensive piece. Like this is offensive.
Boom.
Right, and like it's also good for Gholdengo because you have Scrappy, and like I also think it's cool here because it's Terra fighting. So like you have psychic terrain, so then you Terra to get rid of like your fake out weakness on the psychic terrain, and then like you just blow something up. It's just a very ingenuitive team, and I like it a lot. I'm not 100% sure what the Lumberry Salamence is for, but it's cool.
Grimmsnarl, bro. They don't want to get Grimmsnarl. Or a Mungus, I guess, or a Whisk. I don't know. Not a Whisk. There's no way.
It's probably mostly for a Mungus because it just like this looks like a Mungus hate. Like you have like Terragrass, Armor Rouge, the Ursaluna, you have the Flamigo, the Salamence. Like it just makes Amungus's day even sadder. So like that's like the main gist.
I agree. I'm looking at this right now, guys. Like if you're preparing for this, I mean, these are the websites to look at to see what you have to prepare against. Right? Like in my opinion, I always go to everyone who's made day 2 or at least 5 and 3 or better, and I'm saying, do I have a general understanding of how to play that matchup? Can I beat this kind of team? And I think if you guys go into Pittsburgh truly understanding this, again, if you have not practiced it, use the badge challenge, guys. Comment the word badge. I'll send it to you. But yeah, man, I think we want to do this every Monday. And I want to know your feedback, guys. This is me and Carrie's first time doing this. We do want to do it again next week after Pittsburgh. And I think the way I'm looking at this personally is like there's a lot of variance, a lot of creativity. Again, the North American region, I see a lot more offense, like a lot more aggressiveness in these teams. And it's very interesting to see the difference, right?
And, 100%.
Yeah, man. And if you have any, what are your predictions for how you think, do you have a prediction for how you think Pittsburgh is going to go? I know you said you're going to see sand there, but what do you think is going to be something that people should keep their eyes on for, or players should practice for before the tournament?
It's kind of it's tricky, but I think we should be expecting like not only size sand, but just more offense in general. I think to counter the increase in balance.
Yeah.
I also am I'm very curious to see if we'll see like any King Gambit ingenuity pop up, or at least like an interesting way of running it.
Yeah.
I'm all like same thing with like Rain, because I also think Rain could win this weekend as well. If like whether it's standard rain or a new take on it, I think it's just really well
rain, bro. It's not a DP rain, bro.
Yeah, it's just well positioned in general, right? So like, maybe it's you taking it with Grimmsnarl, maybe. I don't know.
You know what coming in there, bro.
Screens in general right now is also, I think, pretty strong if you have the right support. I do think it can get very, very passive in some board states, but like if you have the right pieces and are making the right trades, it can totally win.
Yeah. I think like, situations where you like can slow things down and just size spam and stuff like that, it's very good. Of course, you have to have that go mode. I think any team right now, that almost every team that we're seeing has a go mode and a slow mode. And being able to balance between those two things, like, again, I see this choice scarf Terra Steel, but I also see like a slow Garganico, right? I see this like coaching Sneasler, but I also see this Rillaboom King Gambit stuff, right? There's a lot of different things you can do here. I see this, again, like Ape, fucking Ursaluna Blood Moon go crazy, but I also see like T-Tar, Scream. There's a lot of balance between the two. So I think being ready for that is going to be big. I am shocked to not see a lot of P2 Ursaluna in either tournament.
I think it makes sense though, because like I think the issue that P2 Ursa is running into right now is people like that one. I think is a lot easier to come up with game plans for in comparison to other archetypes.
Yeah,
it's not as flexible. Relies a lot more on the trick room.
Yeah,
it can be linear in some spots, and P2 is good, but there's also just been a lot of Amoonguss hate recently.
Yeah.
And if and when you hate on Amoonguss, it makes it really hard for P2 to get going. Especially when everyone's teching out their EVs to make this P2 not get a special attack boost.
Yeah,
and it gets an attack boost.
I gotta do that, bro. I gotta do that because this. I'm glad it's not getting a lot of love because my team has a hard time against it. I played against it in Toronto, but I did beat it. But you got to get a lot of turns right. You know what I mean? Because the Ursaluna Gut Spear, I'm really hoping it slows down because for me personally, that's one of the Pokemon that is really hard for me to struggle with. But I'm looking at it right now, and dude, like, I mean, in America, I see it, but they're all this hard trick room style of team. You know, like I'm not seeing a lot of them on this P2 stuff. I'm only seeing one P2 Ursa like this whole way. So I think it's very interesting to see. I mean, there's a lot more down here in the final bracket. So
I think the way to run Bear right now is with Sinestro. Like genuinely, I feel like that is the best way to run physical Bear. Like because number one, you get the double Spore Immune, you get the not only like Trick Room, you get Life Dew, the Matcha Gachas for the burns, recovery, hospitality, even Fake Out Immune, Trick Room 2, bulky. It's just it's also just flexible and also pairs better with a lot more things. I think the issue with P2 is that like it gets into a building rut where it wants very specific partners and then just
very specific things. I mean, all these P2 are trying to fighting for Gambit right now, but we're not seeing any Gambit. So it's like
it's just very inflexible, I feel. I think if like P2 wants to do well, it's gonna have to break some convention, like similar to like Wolf's Louisville team or like Marco's LAIC/Toronto team, where it's like a unique like tail room approach that applies pressure and can rotate between the two. Because like I think tail room is actually something that should be more explored, and it's because it's actually like really strong. It's just hard to build.
Yeah,
right. Because like it's specific partners, a specific balance of like aspects. So it's just important to like maintain those two while keeping a good team. So I'm curious if we'll see tail room adapt anymore. If it's just going to be the same like Elizabeth team.
Yeah, I think this weekend's going to tell us everything that we have to know about the meta right now. We have 3 full tournaments. This will dictate the future of the next couple of months, especially Milwaukee, Lille. I know Vegas signups are today. There's a lot coming out. And guys, like, I really hope this was helpful. Let us know in the comments. Like, me and Cary want to do this for you guys a lot. We love this game. We're just getting started. We're learning how to do this. My first time breaking the meta on camera. I don't know if it's yours or not, but I think like, and I think like we're just two guys who are very passionate about this. We want you guys all to do well too. Because Cary, last year was your first year as it was both of our first year at Worlds last year, right?
Yes, it was.
And we know what it's like, and it is truly a special experience to go on that run, of course, of the year, getting to compete shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. And we're both on a mission to help you guys get there too, right? And even if we can only help you out once a week or once every couple of weeks with something like this, I mean, hey, Cary, we're here to help them out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Leave a like, subscribe. And if you want to watch me break down and comment badge if you want the guide. But if you guys want to watch me break down this badge challenge, I'm gonna put that video over my head. If you want to watch me sit down with James Evans to talk about advice going into Pittsburgh, I'm gonna click on Cary's head. It's another video over there.